Hey everyone, you're here with Mark W. Bao II. I was an ex-military paramedic and I am a health enthusiast. Today we're going to be talking about two specific things. What is a parasite and what is a pathogen? Before we dive into it though, I'd like to cover our sponsor, Drops Balance is an ultra mineral solution that cleans your water. Minerals are good for the body. Drops Balance is cost effective, it's quick and convenient, and it removes soluble toxins in the water. Okay, so at the end of the day, guys, we're recommending this product because if water is absolutely essential for a healthy system, and this provides trace minerals and it creates a healthy environment for your body, so it actually is somewhat of like kind of like an anti-parasitic as well. So this video channel is not just about parasites, but it's also about how to actually fix this yourself and get a better understanding of what's going on within your body. We talk about everything from spiritual from thousands of years ago, what the Jews are talking about, all the way up to scientific present day. So, what is a pathogen? Basic definition: a microorganism uh, that causes or can cause disease. Pathogen agents include parasites, bacteria, yeast, and viruses. A pathogen or infection agent is a biological agent that causes disease or illness to its host. The term is most often used for agents that disrupt the normal pathology of a multicellular animal or plant. However, pathogens can infect unicellular organisms for all of the biological kingdoms. So what does that all mean here? What this is basically telling you is that this is saying that a microorganism these microorganisms are what causes the disease. Okay, so when you think about it for a second, when we go to the hospital and we get sick, we're given a pill to feel better, and that pill is supposed to fix the problem. It's supposed to make us feel better, whatever the problem is. And so what ends up really actually happening is a lot of us have not. Our modern day science really, I don't think, has connected the dots that our illnesses, the majority of our illnesses, aren't caused by us going outside, like on a change of weather patterns or something along those lines, or a weak immune system. And it is caused by a weak immune system, but the reason why we have a weak immune system is because we have parasites, or we have a bacteria or a virus that is causing the disease. We're given a pill just to feel better, but we're not actually taking care of the problem. And that's really what when you go back and you read about Jesus Christ, and you read about Adam and Eve and the snake, that whole portion isn't talking about Satan. I mean, it is talking about parasites that live in our body, and how they cause problems. And we'll get into this discussion later down the road. But really, when you really think about this, parasites, they don't rob you of micronutrients. What they do is they eat your bacteria in your gut, and then your gut is actually produces a coenzyme for minerals that then allow your minerals to be bioavailable in your body. And because the parasites feed off the gut biology, and now that biology is disrupted, or you don't have as much of it in your gut because of parasites, or because we are sterilizing our system or something along those lines, we aren't able to produce the coenzyme for minerals that and so then we end up having a weak immune system, because our immune system doesn't have the micronutrients it needs to sustain itself. And that's because Even if there is minerals in your body, it doesn't have that coenzyme because the bacteria in your gut has been disrupted. That's why people are, you drink, they encourage you to drink kombucha, or you can get a microbiology pill and take it for your your gut biology, things along those lines. That's actually what's going to do is it's going to help create a coenzyme that makes your minerals bioavailable, so that when your minerals get absorbed into your water and then get reabsorbed back into your body through in your colon, because that's where actually 90% of all the minerals get reabsorbed, they will be available because they have a coenzyme attached to the minerals and they're water soluble. Um, which the drops of balance product is a water soluble minerals, which is what benefits this. So just this was a huge epiphany for me, realizing what's actually causing sickness, and the cause is parasites in our body um, eating the bacteria, and then our body doesn't have the ability to make the minerals that are locked up in our food bioavailable because they don't have the coenzymes because our bacteria has been messed up. So, what is a parasite? CDC definition: a parasite is an organism that lives on or in a host organism and gets its food from or at the expense of its host. So, what we were just discussing, the parasites eat the bacteria, and when it eats the bacteria, it makes your minerals that are in your food. It doesn't allow them to be it doesn't allow them to be bioavailable. Are all parasites pathogens? No. So remember, a pathogen may cause a disease, and so what this is saying right here is that there may be parasites in your body, but not all of them are going to be a pathogen, and the pathogen is what creates the disease. So no, not all parasites cause diseases. Are all parasites found in the intestine? No, many are. Many are, but some found on our skin. They're called lice or ringworm. Wrestlers or staph infection. Um, they're in your blood as well. So this is what we're discussing as. And there's three main types: the protozoa, the helminths, the worms. These are what we're talking about most, and the lice and bed bugs. That's the skin portion. So protozoa, they're the single-celled organisms, microscopic, single-celled. They are commonly show characteristics usually associated with animals, most notably mobility, and are often with the plant like algae and fungi like water mold or slime mold. And this is is the one we're really discussing, the multicellular parasitic worms, also known as helminths, are large macroparasites. Adults can generally be seen with the naked eye. Many are intestinal worms that are soil transmitted and infect the gastrointestinal tract. Other parasites, worms, such as these, sorry, I'm not the best at pronunciation, reside in blood vessels. Okay, so this is a big deal, guys. This is really where you got to understand that you have parasites in your blood system, you have parasites in your GI tract. Well, how does this all affect you? Well, let's discuss kind of how your entire system works. Let me see if I can find a quick picture. Okay, so the blood parasites and the gut parasites are going to be the two things that I'm going to focus on today. uh, and specifically the gut parasites. Why are they the most significant? That you want to get control over so that you can live a healthier life. I don't want to say a longer life, but at least you're going to live a life most likely free of cancer. Most likely you're going to be free of getting sick all the time. Even if you're a vegan, even if you're a vegetarian, even if you've been a vegetarian your whole, everyone has parasites. Everyone does. They are things that that you can get parasites from anything, meat, and anything and everything you can get parasites from. The issue is what the parasites is that they when they take hold in your body, they begin to grow. And they can get as long as 5, 6 feet long. And I'm talking from experience, from my own experience of removing my own parasites. So let's talk about why the gut parasites are the most important to actually work on removing first. The reason why specifically is because they eat the bacteria. And again, we talked about that a second ago. The bacteria are responsible for producing coenzymes for minerals that are in our food. And when the food goes through our entire digestive tract, and I'll explain this process. When we eat food, it's all acidic all the way up to right here, all in your stomach. Actually, begins to produce bacteria in your mouth. They come down, everything begins to get ripped apart in an acidic environment, and then your gallbladder produces a bile that actually switches your pH system from an acidic to an alkaline before it enters into your small intestine, your large intestine, and then goes down to your colon. And what's very interesting about your small and large intestine is really just responsible for massaging your food. And it really what happens is if you can imagine, it massages your food, and as it's massaging the food, um, it's it's making it into this very mushy putty, like a very it's an alkaline environment, so it's going to be excreting. Okay, it's going to be excreting minerals out of your out, and it's going to, and because the water is alkaline and the environment's alkaline, the water is now can absorb those minerals more efficiently. So it excretes the water or excretes the minerals out of the food at that point because it's alkaline while it's massaging the food through the small and large intestine. And only about 10% of the minerals actually get reabsorbed in the small and large intestine. 90% of all the minerals get absorbed in your colon. After the minerals have been absorbed in the water, and then the water it gets reabsorbed into your system before your poop comes out. So again, that's why it's important to get control of the parasites within your gut system, because those minerals are the base it's the food for your body. It's the food for your body, and when it's not available or to be properly used in your body, then everything else starts to get all messed up. And when you end up eating really fatty foods or meats or things that really back up your system, and you don't have your bile switching your system from acidic to an alkaline properly, what's going to happen is you're going to begin to have a more acidic environment, which will create a more conducive environment for candida and for other parasites to exist. And and that's when it ends up causing a major issue in the blood system, because when your blood begins to be more acidic, that's where the candida is going to exist. So if you can kind of see the connection in your gut system and your blood system, is really your main connection is with your bile and the acidity, and the alkalinity, and what the bile specifically the function it does for your body. Once this whole system begins to get backed up, and the bile begin and your liver begins to get gallstones, because maybe you don't have a you don't stay hydrated. You have a very oily, like meaty, oily diet, and it begins to get, oil doesn't get, it becomes like on the bottom of your pan of your food. It gets like waxy, and so it doesn't things don't digest properly. So what ends up happening, because the bile, it just doesn't turn it to an alkaline, it actually also breaks down your fatty acids. So when all that begins to back up and into your liver, because you release bile in your liver and it switches in your GI tract. The bile is released into your GI tract and switches your pH system from acidic to an alkaline. When it gets released into your liver, so to keep your blood more of as an alkaline versus an acidic environment as well, well, that bile gets stuck in your liver as gallstones, as gallstones. And so what happens, you end up getting an enlarged liver because the liver keeps growing, trying to compensate because it needs to keep cleaning um, your blood system. And the major issue with this is that when the alkaline begins to when you begin to have a more acidic environment, well, it creates a more conducive environment for parasites in your blood system. Well, see, now we just jumped from your GI tract over to your blood system. Once your parasites begin to go into your blood system, they're going to begin to you're talking about full-blown infestation all over your body, and we're talking about parasites going in your brain, all over the place, and they're going to be causing major issues because they're affecting your chemistry. And if um, anyone doesn't know anything, I would suggest people do a little bit of research about how parasites. Two fun facts, and let's see if I can find them real fast. There's a relationship between fish and birds because of parasites telling the fish to come to the surface. Fish and birds, because parasites living inside fish eyeballs controlled its behavior. Okay, it found something. And right here, this is what we're discussing. These are parasites that live in their eyeballs, and they're controlling their behavior. So think about it with us too. You know, once we have parasites in our different parts of our body, they're going to begin to control our behavior. Um, Especially if there's full-blown infestations. When that happens, we're talking about, who knows how it could affect us. These parasites could be the reason why we have um, Alzheimer's potentially one day. We link parasites to Alzheimer's. Maybe we link schizophrenia to parasites. Maybe we link dementia to Alzheimer's, just because of a breakdown of our bioavailability of minerals and how minerals are used within our cells and our DNA to have a strong DNA chain as we age. These things shouldn't happen, but because we're not properly being given the proper nutrients in our body, these types of illnesses are able to set in over time. So just wanted to hope this video was hope you like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. These are just a few of the parasites that you can find in your body. They're up to today, there's close to potentially 1,000 separate different types of parasites that can live in your body. Please subscribe if you like this video. Thanks so much and have a beautiful day. Stay healthy, everyone.